What's going on, guys? It's Matt with the FF Mediators and the Face Off Sports Network, back with another rookie profile, this time on Jack Bech, the wide receiver from TCU, standing at 6'2", 215. He was the Senior Bowl MVP and 2024 second team All Big 12. His 24 season had 62 receptions for just over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. This is a kid I think a lot of people are going to be rooting for, including myself. He's just a football player, and I love to watch him play. Doesn't say no to anything. When you watch him block, it's really impressive. He puts a ton of effort into that. A lot like Juwan Jennings, he is seeking and out there looking for someone to block on running plays. But for fantasy purposes, we're not too focused on that. We're more focused on what can he do as a wide receiver. And he has great hands. He's a reliable route runner, and he's going to be a quarterback's best friend. A lot of people comp him to Puka Nacua. I'm not going to say he's that level player because I don't think he is, but he plays exactly like him. And just like Cooper Kupp, too. I mean, he's a Rams wide receiver if there ever was one, where he's willing to block, loves to go in motion, and just fights through and has tough catches all over the place. We see him here. He has a catch across the middle, fights through those arm tackles, and gets in the end zone. Next play against Kansas, he runs a little quick goal line slant and finds a way to fight through the contact and get in the end zone. He just does this all over the place. It's all over his tape. He runs through those arm tackles. He fights for all those extra yards. He's someone that I absolutely want. He had he was tied for 18th in missed tackles forced. He had 17 on the season, 45 first down catches in 2024. That finished 20th overall out of wide receivers. He's got great release from the line of scrimmage. You'll see him here on this play. Just, again, runs across the middle, goes through that little arm tackle, and just runs away until he gets to the end zone. And I think he's going to make money in the NFL doing this just because he's not an elite athlete. He's not going to break away or have any sort of crazy missed tackles. He's just tough and runs through and finishes the play. Prior to playing at TCU, he was actually at LSU for 2 years where he had 43 receptions and almost 500 yards as a true freshman. Now, his time at LSU is interesting because he played a lot out of the slot. Only 26% of his slots 26% of his snaps were in the slot at TCU, but prior to that, the rest of his career was 79%. So he's really comfortable in the slot. I think that's going to be good for him to be moved all over the field once he gets into the NFL. Where he gets drafted, that's a little bit tougher. Some people have him sneaking into the second round. I think he's more of a round 3 guy. I could see him falling early on day 3, going in the 4th round. But he's a guy that in rookie drafts, you're probably going to be able to get in the early 3rd round. Just depends on how high that draft capital is. Now, certainly the combine can help him. We'll see how he runs with the 40 and the 3 cone. But I think in drills like the gauntlet and things like that at the combine, he's really going to show off because he's got solid hands and the ability just to fight through, especially in contact when people are trying to have arm tackles on him or they just kind of bump him. He's really good in those contested catch situations. I cannot wait to see who gets the opportunity to draft him. Like I said, if there was ever a Rams wide receiver, it's this guy. He's certainly got a great story behind him. I encourage you to look up him on Google and just kind of read about him because he's a really good guy and he deserves some credit for what he's done and what he's gone through. His football play speaks for itself. Like I said, he's just a football player, and he's going to make a really good teammate for wherever he gets drafted. And I think he's going to have some fantasy relevance, especially if he gets tied to a good quarterback where I could see him easily being a wide receiver 3 for a team and step in and have some spike weeks and maybe even be a best ball darling just because he has the ability to break tackles and, find his way into the end zone. But let us know below what you think of Jack Bech, and we'll certainly look into more players as we continue to approach the combine and the NFL draft. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the Face Off Sports Network, where we are constantly putting out Dynasty and fantasy football content in general. But until next time, we'll see you then.